Hello everyone, and welcome to Ready City Crit. I am the Dungeon Master Harna, and I'm joined by a strange group here. Very strange indeed. Let's start off with the one who associates most likely with the friend's character Joey. Work our way down from there.
I really like food.
You also failed at being an actor, so.
Oh.
Shots fired.
There's the roast for the day.
What do you mean roast for the minute?
That was such a brutal onslaught, Mary actively recoiled.
So hurtful. Hello, I am Ryan, the field actor, apparently. And I play Cyrus Revanmar, the Asamar Barbarian. Barbarian.
Barbarian.
Blah, blah,
I'll go next. My name's Anthony. I play Barris Darkhoof, the Satan rogue fighter, and I'll pass it on to the next person.
I'll go next. I'm playing Volgia, the Durgar Ranger. Pass it on to the next Joey.
Hi, I'm George. I play Atlas Moreau, the Owlin Druid, and I will pass it on to our least Joey full.
Not sure about that one, but hi, I'm Mary. I play Astra, the ASMR cleric, and I'll pass it to our DM.
Alrighty.
I feel like I'm not charming enough, but I am dumb as shit.
You steal my food, so I was like, yeah.
Was anyone remind us what happened last time?
I would love to have a pet chicken and duck.
That would be great. We
argued for like 3 hours with various people.
Yeah. Cyrus put on the demon skull and had a conversation, and everybody else was freaking out about it. Barros was trying to solve his Rubik's Cube.
And did.
I was getting to that. What happened before that? We left the parents.
We got some stuff.
And we have started the inquiry to meeting with the council using
we met
Rare district.
Yeah. The sister.
Moonshadow's sister.
Yeah.
And she's going to put in a good word for us with the council. She has to obviously check her sources.
Make sure we're not insane, which we probably
Make sure we're not insane. Little Saparna reminded Atlas to talk to the Mudrons.
Yeah, and we were like, hey, Modrons, who invented you? And they were like, I don't know, it's in like the control room shit that you can't reach. And it was like, cool.
So we're gonna have to go and reach that control room and shit at some point. Then we got back. Everybody was doing their own thing. Cyrus had a little me time with the skull, and then the skull made him put the skull on. And
on his head. Just after you say a little me time, I feel like you need to specify.
He was having me time by himself, trying
exactly.
to make the skull.
It did sound questionable.
Yeah. What are you doing to that poor skull?
I said it entirely innocently, and you took it the wrong way.
You made it sound like you put your dick in the skull.
No, I didn't.
Just put
I just
his
said,
head in the skull.
Yeah, he put
Okay,
the skull
you gave
on
the
his
skull head. Continue.
Or did the skull give me head? So, Cyrus spoke with said skull, which, let me just draw up my notes to see if I can pronounce this
His
name.
name's Blibbity Dibbity Dibbity Doo.
His name is not Bibbity Dibbity Doo. His name is, where's my scrapbook?
Taka.
No, it's blibbity 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 dop.
I was like, Kaka Black Gabba.
It's actually really satisfying to say the name.
I really want to say it, it's just I have to flip and sign into my Hero Forge. Not my Hero Forge.
Do you want me to
My
remind
world.
you, or
I can't help you. In my notes, it just says many consonants.
Consonants. No, I have it written down in my scrapbook. But yes, while I'm trying to find that name, basically he told me that he wanted me to kill Fife. And I was like, that's a little hard to do because Fife is kind of my guardian and I'm attached to him. And he's like, well, stop that. Kill him. And
Stop being
I'll help
attached
you
to
out.
him.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Meanwhile, we were like, Cyrus really loves that funky new hat, huh?
And then Cyrus stopped wearing the funky new hat.
He was
and
red like a
everybody was
lobster.
like- he was red like a lobster. And everybody was like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, I've got voices in my head. And they were like, stop having voices
He was like,
in your head.
thinking about making a deal with this devil. And we were like, maybe don't do that. And he was like, don't tell me what the fuck to do.
Well, yeah, that everybody got really angry. And then Barros solved the Rubik's Cube.
Everyone got
He
less
stopped-
angry.
Everybody was really chill. And then
Cyrus
I
was like,
think-
he uses me as a footstool, and then we just ended the session immediately.
Yeah,
So
that
as
was-
that
that
as
was
that
the last
bombshell was dropped of the footstool, the calm emotion spell from the cube has just begun to wear off, and as Cyrus tries to remember the name, I think we can always just jump into it, and he can reveal the name as he finds it again.
Like a
I can't find my notes for it.
The name was Kroko Kakata.
I was pretty close with that.
Kroko Kakata.
Unless it
I
didn't
was
see
pretty
it.
close with Krakatakalak, to be honest.
In which case, I will be upset.
Crack-a-lack.
That's not his name.
It's like,
Krakalakatak.
like coriander all over again.
Oh, I miss that spicy leaf dragon. But also I don't. I'm glad he's dead.
Oh, me.
Was his name not Griandus?
It
Yeah.
was, yeah.
But I misheard it as
Oh.
coriander. And then it just became spicy leaf dragon.
Fair.
Basically, I just mock whatever enemy Harry puts me up against, but you know.
No matter the class.
Right.
Yeah, I seem to have lost the documents on that page, so I'm gonna have to rewrite some stuff.
But regardless, you are all in your rented room on the lovely Nexus level. In I believe it was Uri's Elegance. You're currently in on the penthouse.
Volga has definitely put as many doors and walls and door frames that the big chimera cannot fit through between him and the chimera.
The Chimera can fit around most of it.
And his mistake is thinking that the Chimera can't just go directly through a wall if it wants to. Oh, also, Tawa saved us the tasty bits from the meals we gave him, which we have placed in the fridge because none of us wanted to eat raw secreting organ.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we are going to have to eat it at some point. Or Tawa will think we don't like him. Or them.
Lovely.
They're all genders, so.
I've got a note of who's who.
LGBT icon.
LGBT icon, three-headed monster.
Oh, you don't need to call him a monster. They get called that enough. Years.
It's in the stat block.
But yeah, you guys are all kind of there. You were still talking about, like, you were kind of in the middle of this conversation. We just cut it off last week because we didn't have time. So. Pick it up amongst yourselves, wherever you want to talk about. You're just talking about how Fife uses Fife uses Cyrus.
It's not as easy as just getting off the leash, Atlas. I ran halfway across the Expanse to get off the leash, and he still was able to contact me until.
I just don't think it's a good idea to make a deal with a new devil.
Again, stop saying the D word.
Is that like a slur? I don't get your reaction here.
In Abaddon, when you refer to the devil, it is Lorien. You are speaking of Lorien. These are not devils. Well, they are, but not in that sense. Just refer to them as fiends.
I don't understand what's wrong with devil. That's like, they are devils.
It's just a slur.
It's the term. It's the devil. It's like the saying the queen. It's supposed like queen in general.
Oh, you guys have been calling me a bird since day one. I didn't yell at you for being a slur.
Well, that's just shortened bird folk. But if it's a slur, I will stop referring to you as a bird.
That's kind of funny. I was hoping you'd do it in front of my parents.
Atlas's dad. You can't say that word. Only we can say that word.
Cyrus, we don't know what happens if too much of a risk.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
It's like severing off your soul for all we know, or part of it.
Yeah, but the alternative is that I go back to not agreeing with him. I never really fully agreed with him, but it was nice for him to not be a complete asshole to me. Actually, to feel a bit of praise come from him was both nice and disturbing.
I mean, what happens if you
Praise
don't
the wrong
agree
places.
with him? Like, can your guardians do anything? Or are they just, like, in your head?
We still feel it. You know, what happens in the mind can be almost as real as what happens to your body. It might not leave any marks. You might not actually be cut and bleed, but that doesn't mean you don't feel it.
So
wouldn't
your
be able to
options
see-
are play nice with the Infernal, and in turn do a bunch of evil shit that he wants you to do. Kill him and maybe sever your soul into bits, and also join another Infernal, or find a third option.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or
But
disagree with him and sign yourself up for mental torture, I suppose.
yeah, pretty much. Not great options.
I mean, given the options we've been given so far with choices, I'm not surprised. Well, regardless of anything, I say nothing can be done yet anyway.
Exactly. So
We don't even... I mean, do you even know where he is to kill him?
oh, he's somewhere flying above Abaddon.
Vague.
Probably close to the front lines.
Okay, so...
So you'd have to go back to the place you wanted to leave.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well... Right now, there's no guarantee we'll even be able to get there, so... Pointless.
Exactly. So let's focus on the problems that we have here and try and figure out them first. I think it's been an eventful day, what with meeting the parents and all. So why don't we rest and then see about how we're going to figure out more about what the Mudron told us.
Okay.
You gonna leave that thing behind? I don't keep it here. I suppose you have been, but
I think he was a little pissed that I left him behind earlier on Tilm. But as I said, I came back for him.
At the very
So-
least, I think we should leave it in the hotel room.
He can stay on the top shelf for now, as long as, Tewa doesn't go near him. He kind of possessed me, so I don't want to know what he might do with a chimera.
Maybe we just lock the skull in Volgir's room when we go out.
That is a good idea.
Last thing we need is a chimera possessed by the devil. Sorry, Inferno.
No. Thank you. Trust
That
me,
would be
if the
bad,
chimera-
though.
If the chimera
That would be
got
really
possessed-
bad. Like
If the
Lorien
chimera-
himself.
Yeah, like the god of war
Yeah.
in a chimera.
you're
If he was on our side, though, that'd be... You'd see a squid come at us then.
Yeah, but he's also like lawfully evil by nature. So I don't really think any of you would agree with him anyway. You don't agree with me half the time.
Are you saying you're half evil? Because that's not overly comforting.
Not half evil. It's not. It's evil with rules.
That's also not
What?
very comforting.
It's lines you don't cross. You live by a code. It might not be a good code, but at least there are boundaries.
I don't know. I just try to be a good person. In general. Maybe I'm the weird one. Well, anyway, I have had the most emotionally draining day of probably the last 5 years, so I am going to go sleep.
Good idea. I'm also going to go sleep. If you're screaming in the night, it's probably just Fife talking to me.
Why don't we keep watches?
Sure.
Astra? Barros? Volgair? You up for it?
I think Volkir's already in bed.
Yeah, I'm staying well away
Okay.
from that.
I mean, I was probably not going to go sleep straight away anyway, so I can take first watch.
Sure. I'll take second, Astra takes third, and if Cyrus looks like someone's torturing him in his sleep, then we poke him awake and hopefully pull him out of it.
Alright.
I'll just sleep on the sofa, like usual.
And if he wakes up with no pants, it wasn't me.
Cyrus, like, tightens his belt buckle.
Cyrus wakes up nightmare free and also pants free.
Which is worse?
Cyrus wakes up in his nightmare with no pants. The worst kind of nightmare!
And you haven't done your maths test! How are you going to defeat your father with no pants? But yeah, sleep.
Yes, you guys can just bed down for the day and call it a day. Sort of thing.
Yeah, I think so.
We're on Cyrus getting tortured watch.
Righty. Yeah, you got a fair bit done that day. Okay. Yeah, you sleep. You have a couple hours to kill beforehand because it was not super late in the day, so you
Yeah, I
probably
didn't think it was.
you kind of mill around a little bit, just you're in the room, just rest, maybe just take some time to
Alice
organize your
updates
backpacks
a
and
bunch of shit in her book.
Yeah.
Crosses out a bunch of shit.
as you all sleep.
Oh no.
Astra.
Yay! It's not me!
Yet.
Yet.
Astra, you find your dreams kind of follow their normal path for yourself, whether there be maybe some that recur or whatever keep you up at night and things of that such. They're normal kind of occurrences. But as you slip into that deep, deep sleep, you kind of get that fresh smell of that cool air, just after a rain, a long rain, that clears out the atmosphere itself. And as you kind of let your eyes flicker open, you are, for the first time, not on a rock on the water or not on a cliff edge looking towards a horizon. You are on one of the arms of the Omphalos. Looking around, you're not quite sure what district you're on, but you can see lots of tall, very well-structured buildings, lots of right angles, the architecture that you would normally associate with dwarves. And you see the central ring kind of wrapping around the eye as it does, and the other districts all kind of adjacent, branching off it. And you kind of look over, you see familiar shape of a celestial guardian of yours. Kind of gives you a little warm smile.
Change of scenery? What? Are you here, Del?
No, I'm not here. Well, I have been here before. It's certainly a busy place.
Yeah, a lot of people. Don't like it.
It's funny. We talked a lot about the eye of a storm, and yet what lies in the center of this station is probably the most chaotic eye of all of them. Busyness going around, people with their own agendas, good and bad. The direction of the waves can change from this very place. The seat of power, like the amalgamate, is definitely able to turn the tide in some cases. You saw something back on Kemnor. Something we thought was long gone.
Del lifted?
Yes. I never had an opportunity to see one before. They were shadows left over by bygone times, even when we were only young. Our mothers and fathers, the gods, they They came around sometime after they had left.
Yeah, some time after the Sundered.
Don't quite know much about them. The Sundered were a new term to me. But we knew of them. They built this station. This outdates even the gods, this Omphalos. But I think its purpose has changed. Evolved with time. Whatever they originally designed it for, I don't think it could even do that anymore. But if the stories I was told when I was much, much younger are true, all the Illithid, before the gods that we know, took hold of this expanse around us. They flew their ships and satellites and planets, anything they could move, right into the biggest eye of the biggest storm of them all, never to be seen again. Also, we thought. Perhaps this group who laid behind, who popped up on Kemnor, maybe they got lost, or went wayward, or never went. But nothing survives that storm. Nothing could weather the tight turns and gusts and solar flares and blasts of energy, the heat alone. For as you get closer and closer to the eye of a storm, what happens? Before you reach it, the storm gets more and more intense. You only find reprieve once you find yourself in the eye. If we can even get that far. I do wonder what lies in there. I don't even think the gods knew.
Maybe punch it. Or some portal have enough technology, I suppose.
Perhaps.
Technology we can't even fathom.
Indeed, I believe it would even go beyond what the gods would have known. Maybe not now. Time to learn and grow. Who knows? The fact that you see them, that they are still here, is worrying. Perhaps it is all connected.
It does seem that way.
Regardless, keep following the path. I am on a journey much like you. Cannot give you guidance to its final location, for even I do not know. But I know that we will find it together. In time. Like we always do.
I'm glad I have you, Del. All things considered.
And I you, Astra. I wish you luck. I'll try to keep a watch on you, but there are things that I must attend to as well.
And I'll write you if I need you.
Indeed. Again, I'm sorry I cannot be more help to help guide you or lead you in these things, but understand that this path you walk on is no longer under the watchful eye of an Apo. Unless it is, they have no connection to me anymore.
Try and be careful.
I am. Currently safe on Calum. Until I feel the winds change and I'm needed elsewhere. But right now I think here is where I'm meant to be.
I feel my path might lead me home at some stage.
Then I look forward to seeing you in person again.
You too. I'd like you to meet my friends.
They seem like quite the handful. And then your vision kind of like fades back as like the sound of ocean splashing up on rocks kind of fills your ears, and eventually your dreams kind of fall back into their normal patterns that are forgotten about in morning. But the connection with Deluge is always crystal clear. It's like as if it really happened. It's like a more memory rather than a dream. But the other dreams just fall about like normal. They just, can be forgotten or remembered depending on the impact they have on you, or how quick you are to wake from one. As you drift back into your deep sleep. Eros.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for Biscuit Snake sex dream number 2.
Eros, you were in the
it was
middle.
weird last time.
You were in the middle of a biscuit snake dream. When your mind kind of wanders, you find yourself almost like in a memory. You're small, younger than you think you would have been at the time of this happening. Probably only 6 or 7. Young enough that you feel absolutely powerless. You see a tall, imposing figure, long, greying beard coming out from underneath a helmet. You see they wield a weapon similar to the ones you've seen here, armor to match. You see they currently have your mother as you last saw her, holding her tightly by her bicep, pointing the weapon towards your father. You see your father move forward in defiance, but then the weapon is turned on you. The words that you remember that day, even though they aren't spoken, you hear them. You see the lips move, but nothing comes out from the mouth. You can read those lips with your eyes closed. And as the weapon is pointed towards you, you see the glow of it charging up before your father steps reluctantly back. The figure holding your mother drags her, kicking, silently screaming, up the ramp of a tev. And as the ramp closes behind them, the second the locks engage and the weapon is no longer in your line of sight, your father lunges forward, trying to grab desperately onto anything he can, any purchase, but as the landing gear attract up inside the sleek underbelly of the ship before it blasts off, he's just left on his knees on the ground. What do you do?
I think in that moment, I think Beros does the only thing that he knows how to, and he just jumps on his father and just hugs him.
Yeah. And your father, leans up as if to yell into the sky. A curse or a slur or maybe just a yell of rage. And as he does so, you kind of clasp your arms around him. You grind him. You feel the shoulders that were beginning to sag and bounce with sobs kind of find strength. You feel him pull you by your shoulders around over to his front, and he pulls you into a big tight hug. Maybe just so you can't see his face. You just feel his breath on your neck. You faintly hear his voice. We're going to get her back.
And then Beros will just cry and let it fade.
Yeah, and as the strength of your father is bolstered by yourself, the weakness in you kind of grows, and the dream just kind of ebbs away like the sobs of a child. You eventually drift back into your slightly restless sleep. Atlas. You dream. An impossible dream. You see clear, amber skies. The sun setting over familiar mountaintops in the distance. You see a lack of cloud, a lack of smog. You see a building on a hill, surrounded by luscious green vines with plump purple grapes on them. You see your family busying themselves with their work. They look as they are now, as you remember them, as you've seen them before, apart from Micaiah, who is full of plumage as opposed to slightly balding. You see where a large spire should have impacted the city, or nearby, the bunker. Yet nothing stands. There's no hardship, no loss. How everything was meant to be. How it could have been. You stand in the field, a basket at your feet, a set of large shears in your hand, and you've just cut a bushel of grapes at the stem. You see them there, plump and shining. The little shine of the sunlight catching at the end of the day, just glinting off them. They almost have a natural twinkle as the light hits them. Not like how you'd expect, not like that small little sheen, but almost the glint of stars.
Can I eat one?
Yeah. You bring the grape, pluck it off. It squidges between your talons. You see where the vine would have had a little stem into it, a little green spike left over on the stalk, a little bit of faint, clear juice runs out of it. You bring it to your beak, put it in your mouth. Explodes in your mouth, a rush of flavor. It's dry. The skin pulls the water out of your mouth almost. It feels like you've just licked a tea bag, but the flavor that follows is absolutely divine. You taste the freshest plums and cherries, the dark notes of olives and black peppercorn, even the faintest little hint of oakish vanilla on there as well. Just fills your palate. And just as quickly as it comes on, that dryness in the mouth fades, and it's just left with a refreshed, satiated feeling. Your mouth kind of salivates. The dream fades.
Quick. Rock, paper, scissors, right?
Bulgir.
We know Ryan's last. We know Ryan's last, so we can be like, hey, what's up, motherfucker?
It's because he gets too many dreams anyway.
Bulgir, you find yourself dreaming of a journey. You see stars ushering past at speed. You see a dragon at your side. Kind of gives you a little warm, small nod. You're kind of stood on the bridge of a Tev. It looks like the Steel Horizon. Has similarities, but it isn't quite perfect. Something's off. Maybe it's a similar design of ship. You're not sure. You feel that urge that you've always felt. The urge to see the stars and get away, put distance between yourself and that past of yours. As you kind of feel it flash in your mind. You see faces of ones you've loved and ones you've hated. Memories. You think of what could have been and what should have been, and then of what was. A Dragon like nudges your hand. You instinctively kind of like begin to just to stroke his scales on top of his head. Is there anything Volgir thinks of in that moment or does?
I think with maybe the way Volgir's going, I think he's probably thinking the openness. No particular place, just the everlasting blackness.
Yeah. You think that you kind of like set your sights on a place you've never been before. You feel a buzz of excitement. You realize it comes from a sword which floats in the AI. And you see on the ship's console where the navigation terminal has you aimed for. And you are traveling deep into the draconic space. Deep into what is belonging to the Draconid Concordat. You see your target is set with the Sixta system, which you know contains only one planet. And as the ship begins to slow, the bars of light that were once stars begin to once again take their more spherical and dotted, recognizable shape. The dream fades. And then everyone wakes up.
I was like, no dream, no dream, no dream, no dream, no dream, no dream.
I was waiting for a random NPC to get a dream.
Can Atlas
No,
wake
has a
Cyrus up in the middle of the night in her watch?
Sure.
So you find yourself prodded awake to just an enormous pair of dark eyes staring at you out of the darkness, unblinking.
Hi.
Sorry I stabbed you.
Well, I suppose I kind of deserved it. I did take your wine, though you were drinking a lot of it. It's a bit concerning. You doing okay?
Yeah, all good. Good night.
All right. Goes back
And
to
she's
sleep.
still in her watch, so she just continues to stare at you, but in silence.
Yeah, you all wake up the next morning, well rested, a new day before you.
Atlas is frying up innards from the fridge.
liver and heart and lovely.
The smell of
innards.
fried offal fills the air this morning.
I feel like Asher probably rolls over, like, tries to push a pillow at her face, like, no, I could smell rain and freshness, and I was happy, and now I'm smelling whatever this is.
Can I make a check to see how well I can cook space offal?
Yeah, you can make me a cook's utensils check with your wisdom.
I have that. Can I just do wisdom?
Yep, you can just do wisdom. You don't have anything that gives you a +1 though for your cook's utensils.
I don't have any cook's utensils. I got brew supplies and a herbalism kit.
Well, there will be cook's utensils
And
here.
I got the cooking assistant.
There you go. So Volgir has a cooking assistant.
I got a 19 though.
Nice, pretty good. Yeah, it smells good. I mean,
Oh.
it's you're for what the offal is. You're cooking it to a nice temperature where you're not
Fry
losing
that
too
shit
much of
up,
the
put
flavor.
it on toast.
Yeah, you probably end up making it like a hash, kind of similar. Like, you know, there's a little bit of potato in there, I'd like to line it out. A couple of eggs as well, just so there's a bit more of like protein people actually recognize in there.
I feel like Atlas buys the eggs and then is just preparing to crack them in the pan, like, please just be regular eggs and not like full of spiders or something.
Yeah, but they are recognizable eggs to yourself. The selection you get seem to come from smaller birds as opposed to bird folk, which you're relieved to see.
Yeah, I don't think I'm allowed to eat bird folk eggs. I think that's... There's a
That's crossing
line.
a line.
There's a line. But yeah, Atlas will play it up and be like, who wants... I don't know what this is. Doesn't smell as
Breakfast.
bad as you would think, though.
Breakfast. We'll just call it breakfast.
I feel like
Fair.
Volgir's rolled over, just hoping to not see a floating sword in the corner.
Yep, the sword is where you left it. It's scabbard.
Beresol took him to breakfast, like, no questions asked.
Well, good news, I think. No nightmarish visions or dreams last night. How
Is
did
that
everybody...
good news, or is he huffing with you?
That or he's plotting.
Or
And
maybe
he
he didn't
won't.
notice. Maybe he's busy fighting demons. Am I allowed to say
Yeah.
demons? Is
He's
demons
You're allowed to
okay?
say demons.
He's
Okay.
probably plotting. If I know 5, he's probably plotting.
You don't
Surely-
know 5.
You don't even know fight.
Oh, yeah.
None of us know
He's
5,
probably
remember?
plotting anyway.
Except Cyrus, who knows him intimately from being tortured his entire childhood. Which I assume means you know him
Thank
quite
you.
well.
Thank you for that lovely description, Atlas. Not wrong, but thanks. How did everybody else sleep? Good?
I was just kind of sitting there sheepish, like,
Volgir's seemingly staring at his sword while eating.
Oh, I dreamed about a traumatic event from my childhood. You know, pretty normal dreams.
Hey, so
Anybody else?
Dream about a traumatic event from our childhood?
Oh, yeah, well, we're on the Omphalos, yes, and my mother is somewhere here, I assume, so brought up memories that I'd push the rest. You know, the brain does that sometimes. Basically, my mother getting kidnapped and my grandfather pointing a gun at me, and my father crying, and me crying, and, you know.
Well, maybe while we're here, we can see about trying to pick up some sort of trail on her.
That'll probably be a good idea. I've kind of put it to rest with everything that's going on. It's not exactly seemed important for a little while. It has been 10 years.
Bulgir, are you just spacing, or because you're staring really intensely?
Yeah, not a
You
tower
had
like you
dream.
normally do.
You ever had a dream about somewhere you've not been?
Yeah, last night actually. Well, I've been there,
so
but not
vividly that you could have been.
there. Yeah.
Points at sword. Just like,
Did you dream you were inside your sword? Is it cold in there? It looks like it would be cold in there.
no. A place with a lot more flying creatures that I don't really want to deal with this second.
Oh, so you dreamt you were on a Tev?
I mean, that's not that weird. We were literally just on one.
Yeah. You could have just been recalling the recent memories of us getting here.
I feel like Volgir's just like looking at Cyrus, taking a second, going, did I really come across like that? What? No. Sword has a voice in it that wants to go to
Oh, you were dreaming about
Dragonland.
dragons.
Yes.
Well,
Were they
considering
nice
we
dragons?
are currently on the Omphalos, I feel like that's all we should say about the current topic.
Yes, exactly.
That is a good idea.
Mm.
Astra,
about
stop
you, Astra?
pushing your offal around your plate. Just eat it.
I dreamt about Dell,
Is that your
Ooh.
guardian?
Guardian.
The nice one?
Yeah.
Sorry, it feels mean calling them the nice one and the evil one, but given what we've been told about each one, I feel like it's not a hard competition.
He's kind of on his own path right now, but he did say that it concerns them that the Lithid are here. He'd never seen one before. And apparently they made this place, like the Omphalos, they made it before the gods got here, which is kind of concerning, but it's,
Like
They don't
Cal
use
told
it
me he
anymore?
made the gods, so, you know.
So we are currently staying on a thing that is older than the gods and built by the Illithid.
I think
Maybe.
it sounded like that.
Well, that's not
Okay,
concerning.
that's
Which is
That one up to
amazing
my
considering that it is in really good shape.
It also notably doesn't look anything like the Illithid ships you saw.
Not as gooey.
Nowhere near.
We're near as
Maybe
gooey.
something happened to them that made them gooey.
Maybe it was gooey, and then the first people that find it after the Illithid disappeared renovated?
I mean,
maybe it's
those things look kind of alive. Maybe this is like a skeleton of sorts.
Imagine it's an actual eye. Like, in the actual center, there's just a really big fucking eye.
I don't like thinking about that.
I kind of want to go see the big guy.
We'll put it
It
on our
is-
to-do list.
it. Does it is not a biscuit-feeding snake.
Our
It will
to-do list has a
probably
long list
spawn
right
some
now.
death ray that can kill you.
I don't know, it's an eye, it'll just look at us. And we will look at it. Maybe that's why this ring spins. It's the eye just trying to look in all directions. It's just fucking going mad.
maybe it's just one big eyelid that keeps blinking.
I really don't like what this doing.
I like this conversation less than I like this on my plate.
Hey, I worked
If you, don't
hard on
want
that.
it, if you don't want it, I'll have it, and Cyrus will spike one of your hashes and just take
I
it.
was going to say that.
Well,
I
you snooze, you lose.
I don't like things with big eyes. Big eyes freak me out.
Everyone
Everyone's got
trying not to look at
Says
your eyes.
says the owl with the giant eyes.
Cyrus didn't even think of that. He's like, Tewa's got 6 of them.
Yeah, but they're all
They're
proportional
small.
to his face. I don't like it when you look at things and it's just like,
Yeah,
know?
but maybe this eye is proportional to something's face. We just don't have the face to compare it.
I like eyes when they're in a
Now that
face.
discomforts
So
me. That
you-
just makes me think there's a giant face.
Yeah.
Are you telling me
with no
this,
eye.
this kind?
Well,
You're
a
telling
giant
me this
face
chimera
has a
has-
body.
You telling me this chimera has like giant spider-like eyes instead of like normal-sized pupils like most?
No, it's proportionate to its body. The eyes are proportionate, but it still has 6 of them. Because it's got 3 heads.
That we know of.
I was about to say, I'm
Arlo's
pretty
got a
sure
pretty
Goat's eye
thick
is the
mane. There
same
might be
size.
more eyes in there.
Same with a lion's eye. The only thing that might be slightly different is a dragon eye.
But each head is the same size. Like it's a lion-sized goat and dragon, or a dragon-sized goat and
So the
lion.
eyes are the same size as ours then.
No, have you seen the size of Tewa? He's like 3 times the size of each of us.
Gesture. Yeah, I don't actually know how to measure Tawa's height for my book, because I don't know whether I do it from like the tippy top of the tallest head or from their shoulder, like he was a horse.
I would measure by shoulder, because lion neck, quite short. Goat neck, quite short. Dragon neck, a little longer.
Also, that
So
creates
there's-
a weird issue with like, if I measure the dragon head, then do I measure to like the top of the horn or the top of the head? And
As it is
Amon doesn't really like me
goat
being
head,
in their
though.
face.
Tewa
Got a
is like
solution for you.
roughly in size, similar to a lion, like as you would know them, and it just has like wings and goat head and dragon head attached.
So nothingly massive head-wise.
Not like
Cyrus,
not like
mate.
scary, like couldn't swallow
No.
you in one, but definitely could fucking bite your head off.
I would say measure him from paw pad to like shoulder, and then from shoulder to tail. Just don't involve the heads. It saves the whole debacle there.
Atlas, I've got an idea. Cyrus, go stand next to Tewa.
Why?
Tewa licks his
Go
lips.
stand next to Tewa.
Cyrus will get up and stand next to Tewa.
Would you say he's about 1.5 Cyruses?
He's not that big.
How tall, Cyrus?
6'1".
Cyrus is saying, fucking hell! Yes, he is 6'1".
Cyrus didn't even know you were 6'1". You thought you were 6 foot.
I had to think about it for a second.
No. To
I
be
feel like
honest,
that. Like Borg is like, "How tall is Cyrus?" And before Cyrus has a chance to answer, Alice is like 6'1".
No, it doesn't stand as tall as Cyrus. Chimera, the high. Even
I
like
always
stood-
draw Tewa ridiculously big, but to be fair, Alice is like 4 foot tall, so
Yeah,
This is the other thing. Isn't Tewa a young chimera?
yes.
yes.
So he's not fully grown. So he's
We
not
don't
as
know.
big as-
We've never seen another
He
chimera.
probably doesn't hit.
We don't know.
He's probably about like
players know.
nearly 5 foot in height, but lengthwise it's like 10 foot. Like there's a long body and tail to contend with there as well.
So, 1 Cyrus by 1.5 Cyrus.
Yeah, more or
Slightly less
less.
than 1 me by slightly 1 and a bit me.
Or like an Astra's tall and then a Cyrus and
I'm
a half
surprised you
long.
did not get where I was going with that.
I know. I knew where you're going with it. I was like, is he really going to start using my character as measurements again?
I do miss measuring things in Kaz's.
It's when you get to the 30 Kazes that you start worrying.
Like,
How many
oh,
Kaz's?
30 Kaz's tall. It's like, that's not helping anyone anymore.
And the chimera is 5 foot to the shoulder.
Okay.
So that's like measuring it at a horse thing. So it goes a little bit above. So maybe the heads come close to.
You're
So
shoulder to shoulder.
From the
Cyrus.
shoulder, just under an Astra.
Yeah.
5'6", if anyone's curious.
Wait 1 second. Does that mean 1.5 Vulgars?
So Vulgar does think he's pretty big.
I meant sideways, not vertically.
Nice.
That means my Volgear could go around his I'm gonna stop talking.
Atlas will grab the bag of leaking offal from the fridge to offer to Tawa.
I think you ate it, didn't you? Or did you keep
I
some?
thought I
Yeah,
bought
we-
enough for
we-
a couple days.
Oh yeah, you did, yeah. Yeah, Tewa will let it slop into the bag and just stick their heads in one at a time, fighting each other a little bit. You see
No, she will divvy it out into 3 separate bowls.
they still fight
Wait,
over it.
which
Yeah.
offal did we eat? Did we eat the offal that Tewa gave us?
You had
Yeah,
Tewa's
we
leftovers,
had
yeah.
Tawa's
Okay.
tasty bits of offal.
Okay, and then Tewa's given the convenience stores offal.
Yeah.
Cool.
Time Tewa doesn't save anything for anybody. Just tucks in across the board. They fight over. You see to the point where like the goat head and the lion head are, like playing tug of war or something, and the dragon head comes in from above and just snatches at it both with their heads.
Armand, don't snatch. Marsan, Merlot, don't. You have your own bowls. Stop fighting.
It's chaos.
That's a little healthy competition between heads.
A like bit of gut goes flying.
Yeah, like-
Alice just ducks perfectly in time.
Hits the wall, like slides down it.
It's like watching my brothers eat.
Yeah.
All
what
right.
do you want to do today?
Turn around, Eros and Cyrus are eating exactly.
Barros and Cyrus are tug of warring over the hash that Volgir wasn't gonna eat.
I feel like Volgir just eats a good berry in defiance.
So where do we want to start?
Okay,
can
so
talk-
I
we can-
have a presentation tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So for today I'm free, so do we want to try and access those records, I guess?
I mean, I was going to go up and maybe find out if I could find any info about my mom.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's go find your mom.
We could try and get the two birds with one stone. I imagine any information on her would also be in the...
You're not allowed to... I'm not allowed to say devil, but you're allowed to say two birds, one stone.
I meant to generic poultry with one stone, not bird folk.
My grandfather was killed by a stone, Cyrus.
We'll hit two Tevs with one shot.
I was
Two
waiting
demons
for
with one
Beros to say
axe.
something. Yeah.
Eros' evil grandfather stole his mother in a Tev, Cyrus.
Yeah, I'd be offended if I didn't understand what was being said.
Two goats with one bale of hay.
Oh wait, I'm goat. I should be offended by that.
Are you?
No.
One of the
There we
Chimera
go,
heads
to-
looks at Cyrus. Eh,
Stop it!
murder in its eyes.
It always has murder in his eyes.
True.
I swear that goat hates me.
Probably does.
That goat hates everything. It's a goat.
Our Sam doesn't hate anyone. Except the Dutch. Real weird thing about the Dutch.
The Dutch don't exist in this world.
What's the Dutch equivalent in the Expanse?
Who is the Dutch?
I honestly didn't assign the Dutch anyone in particular. What have you not heard from before that would be funny? Giants. The Dutch are all giants. It's canon.
There you go. It's giants.
Right, well, let's make a move.
No, Tabaxi. Tabaxi or Dutch. That's funnier.
Now he has to note it down and perfect his Dutch accent.
Shame. We were going to get some, Russian Tabaxi, but I guess Dutch Tabaxi it is.
Now, George, you gotta let us know whenever he perfects his Dutch accent, and we need to avoid all tabaxi like the plague.
You walk in, you see a tavern full of tabaxi. Yeah, let's go.
We blow it up immediately. No, we don't call them. No healing.
We don't say hi. We don't
On
say
sight.
just death on sight.
Okay, so
We don't answer it.
where do you think we go to ask about a general who kidnapped a woman 10 years ago?
Well, I imagine it would be in the Q sect. Security records.
I have my mother's name. I can just find the record of her living here. He's not going to drag her halfway across the universe and let her go on another planet, is he?
What's her name?
Well,
Let me check my notes.
Are we looking
let
for your
me check
mother's
my-
name? Your mother's name is Bella, if that helps. Bella Mason.
Yeah.
I like how Harry has a better knowledge of people's backstories than we do.
Well, to me, it's just a mom. But,
We're all brain sieves. We don't remember, well, apart from George, who has wrote down everything and remembers stuff better than we do. We don't remember anything about our own backstories.
I know
like the
Atlas's
idea
backstory
that-
pretty well.
See, I still like the fact that, she could probably recite the entirety of Cyrus's family tree. She still doesn't know who Volgir's dad was, or mother, or brother.
That's because whenever we were like, hey, let's play some drinking games and get to know
Oh, he was
each
like,
other,
no.
Volgir was like, no.
Yeah.
On that topic, I may just need to send a quick message to my family before we start asking around about yours.
It's fine. I'm in no rush.
As long as they don't come hunting us down, I'm fine with it.
Why?
Not important. I'm just
Insight
gonna
check.
14.
19.
Yeah, it's up to Atlas here. What do you?
You don't fucking know shit.
There you go. Yeah, you don't fucking know shit.
She said it's not important. Doesn't seem important.
I was about to say, if you say we know no shit, I feel like me and Cyrus would be like, it's even more suspicious. Sorry.
She seems very nonchalant about it. She's like, oh, it doesn't matter.
She says it's nothing.
It's always
Could
something.
it be something?
And she will go out on the balcony knowing from yesterday that that thing's pretty soundproof.
Yeah, you go in the balcony. Are you gonna just send me a message, or are you gonna?
Everyone else can know. They know what nefarious deeds I've been doing. But she'll send a message to probably Kaya because she doesn't believe that the place is soundproof enough to dull out her mother screaming.
Sure.
I just feel like Kaya, the book I gave you with everyone's shit in it that Mama took from you. Did she pass that on to anyone? Because I don't want to start poking around and possibly get arrested.
Hear your brother's voice. Hey, Atlas. She had it for a while. I don't think she gave it to anyone else yet, but they did put out a search warrant or something for you. They were looking for you, so maybe some of the information was told, but I don't know if they gave it over. I think she still has it.
Don't suppose you want to try and get it back?
You send another setting?
Yeah, I'll send another setting and be like, could you get it back?
I could try. You could just ask her for it.
And Atlas will
You
come
need
back
to just
out.
invade his dream.
You're like, okay, hold on. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Okay then.
All right. Yeah. So you set off. Wait, where are you planning on heading?
I think Barros are probably thinking that there's embassies for every race. We'll probably head up to the embassy level, thinking that they might have records on any humans living in the city.
Yeah,
I thought
mean,
humans were part of the thing. Don't they have their own thing?
yeah, they would be on the RA district, so the human embassy probably would be on its own district, as opposed to in the embassy level, which kind of mainly
yeah.
houses. There would be like human embassy and elf embassy and things like that, but they're like normally more like a smaller little like hold all for like. Oh yeah, there's a big debate going on the next couple of days, so I'm not gonna leave the I'm not gonna leave the eye. I'm not gonna go back to the district. But there's also more little like embassies and that in the amalgamate level as well, and lots of little.
Yeah, head to that. All right then.
Sure. So you head to the Outer Ring, the Outer District. Sorry. So you head to the Outer Ring. Is everyone's going together? There's no.
Yeah.
Yep, I think we'll all just travel together.
Alrighty. Yeah, you head around towards the RA ring and the Omphalos. It is not the RA ring, sorry, Helios ring, sorry. The RA is elves. The Helios ring. The Helios ring is a very traditional human kind of design of settlement. Lots of kind of like technological advancements here. The humans aren't quite as magical as the elves and rely a bit more on like clockwork and like mechanical systems, which kind of like help even the more mundane race like excel and go beyond. They are kind of jokingly seen as like the rabbits of the amalgamate, just because they spread so fast. Like they live for such a short time in comparison to a lot of the other races, and they kind of like are definitely seen as that kind of more, not quite rat spreading, but like that definitely kind of like humans can get in and live anywhere. They have like a real like determination of that kind of thing, and it's definitely like an admirable trait. It's not seen as like a bad thing. It's like impressive how humans can like survive such like harsh climates.
If you're in a tough situation, you want a human with you.
Humans are like seen as like very respected. They're one of the highest members of the amalgamate as a council as well, despite having such a short lifespan. The elves alone admire them greatly for that, and hold them in high regard, as do the Fae. The other ones of you probably would not have super high opinions. The dwarves don't really like humans that much, mainly because their homeworld has been decimated by like places becoming like inhabitable.
I know
like,
that feel,
yeah.
guys.
And it's kind of like a spiteful thing of like, humans have made settlements on similar planets work before, and like with technological advancements and things like that, and like just rashness that maybe isn't really observed by races as valid. It's like, why the fuck would you do that, you absolute lunatic? And how is it working? That's so dumb. Like, it's kind of like more that kind of thing. But yeah, humans are definitely kind of like a well respected for their ability to keep surviving. But yeah, the Helios District, it looks like a human city. If you kind of think like a lot of the cities you would have seen in a lot of modern media, think like Star Trek, or like even like Halo and things like that. Lots of tall structures, very sleek in design, but nowhere near as like finesse as the elves. Lots of like tall structures. Not quite Night City cyberpunk-esque, but definitely kind of like broaching in that kind of area, like that similar, like lots of big promotions. But those kind of things are all kind of consistent all throughout the Omphalos. Lots of like big like virtual or like projected like illusions like that, lots of eye-catching things. Like all across this district as well. And you kind of arrive and it's busy. You see lots of people going around about their business, and yeah, like what would you like to do? You get to the Helios District.
I'll let Barros take the lead because it's his investigation.
Yeah, I kind of turn to the group. Right. I don't think it will be a good idea for me to like try and directly find her or make contact, because obviously with the situation with my grandfather, it'll flag up if somebody goes around looking for her, or Mason in general, the family name. Obviously, with him being an amalgamate military, it might flag security protocols. So maybe just find a list of residents, say that we're a family friend, that we're here visiting, and we lost her address.
Sure. Are you heading for the embassy, the human embassy then?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure. So kind of similar to the Art District, the embassies do lie in the middle of the district. The human embassy, though, unlike the Art District, there's just a singular embassy here. The humans are pretty well in their own standing. The fact that they have their own district and things like that, in comparison to the elves and the Fae, who kind of like, and the Shadowkai, who kind of will share. Humans definitely kind of like have staked their own arm in this place and hold a pretty heavy swing. And then you see this like big grand structure. It kind of looks like a big like town hall, like probably similar to something you would see in almost like Prague, like a big like old grand kind of like structure, tall, like towering like coned rooftop above it. Like, yeah, definitely like a marvel of architecture, even by modern standards. And yeah, you kind of see these like big doors at the front. And yeah, you can, if you want to step inside, you can see there are guards posted around, wielding various like weaponry. You see like a lot of these long rifles you would recognize, these energy rifles, big like weapons on some of them. Some of them use more traditional weapons as well. You see one of a battle axe on their back with like glowing like orange on the actual like edges of the blade that seem to like glow with like some kind of like charged energy, and like big like heavy suits of armor as well for a lot of them. You like approach and they kind of like see you approaching, and there's like a little queue to like get in, and they sort of feel like it goes up and down the line, like a projection on their hollow strap, and they approaches you all in turn and goes as you all together, and it's like, hello there, welcome to the Helios District Human Embassy. Could I please take some details, please? Have you got an appointment today?
No appointment. Not today. I was just hoping you could provide me with some information.
Oh, quite possibly, sir. What kind of information are you looking for today?
Well, you see, we're traveling from off planet to see a friend, and my husband here, Clyde, he will drag Cyrus by the arm and link him. Well, he lost the address of our friend, and I was wondering if it would be possible for you to tell us what area that might be in. It's a surprise visit. We've not seen each other for a long time.
Of course, I can definitely point you in that direction. Make me a deception check, please. It sounds like Cyrus didn't really go with the whole husband thing, so you don't get advantage, unfortunately.
He's just standing there like, why did you do that?
Why did you pick
12.
me?
12. She doesn't seem that suspicious. She's like, oh, of course, yes, I will see what I can do. Just a bit of record gathering in for yourself. Not a worry. Whenever you get in, there'll be a main desk on the right-hand side. Just approach any of the tellers there, and they should be able to give you some assistance. It shouldn't be too long. And then she goes to the next one, like, hello there, welcome to the Helios Human Embassy. And just kind of continues going through it. She's like kind of like a greeter. Like, she's not going to give you information herself. She probably doesn't even have access to it. But she's more just like the first person you get when you call a fucking helpline. Like, how can I help you today? Where would you like to go? Please direct your call. Like, that kind of approach. And yeah, with some time you do find yourself in front of the queue, and the first thing you notice is,
fake names.
unlike the Elvish Embassy, there is a
Want
security
to be a
check.
Stella.
You see, there
Yeah, I
are people
don't-
searching bags, there are people checking weaponry.
I don't think it matters for the rest of us, but Barros is definitely going to have to use a
Well,
pseudonym.
you're Clyde now, so
So if you're Clyde, then I can be Barry. Barry's good name.
Barry and
Sure,
Clyde. Sounds
whatever
normal.
you say, honey.
Oh, sorry about that.
Astra, want to be my wife?
What? No, you don't. We don't all have to be married, okay?
But it makes for a good story. More
Alright.
believable.
Astra would be lucky to have a woman like me.
I'm thinking.
I'm a catch. I'm gonna be
thinking
rich when
you're-
my parents die.
True, but I'm thinking you'd be lucky to have Astra.
Lucky to have each other, aren't we, honey?
Yes, we are, dear.
Draco just looks at Volgear.
You've always got to have, that awkward single friend who brings their dog everywhere.
I feel like Astra holds out her elbow for Atlas if she takes it just to like rub it in Cyrus' face. Just like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna be like that, then break.
Cyrus will take Barros's hand.
Barros will take it.
The guards here, they more just go for like they're not really here to like catch anyone out. They don't even bother asking your business too much. A few of them maybe like a little bit of small talk here and there, but it's not like that probing question. You're all basically expected to.
We're just like, a lot of gay couples here today.
You're all just expected to check your weapons. And if you are a spellcaster, they do ask if you are capable of casting spells, and they ask if you are happy to have basically like a program assigned to your holostrap just to like log any spell casting that you do. And then they inform you that any spells cast in the embassy will be recorded, and your holostrap will basically indicate if you are casting a spell, make it very, very obvious. It won't stop you from doing it, but if you were like, I want to subtle cast charm person or like, dominate
know.
person, it will flag up red that like you're doing something, and like, it'll be very, very obvious to the person you're casting on it, if not the people around them, tend to be like, whoa, what have you just done? Like there may be questions follow up, or things like, I guide myself to like, gifted a gab bullshit, like that kind of thing. Like it's this basically stop people, using such abilities to manipulate individuals and potentially do harm as well. Like, there's a lot of magic that can obviously do a lot of damage, and they want to negate that as much as possible. They understand you can take a sword off someone and they can still hurt someone with their fists, but at least you can kind of see it coming. But like a fireball and things like that are maybe a bit more difficult to control, especially if it's innate to someone. They can't suppress it, unless you use
I'm
anti-magic.
just imagining someone who works in the embassy having like their spells logged. It's like, Steve, for the last time, casting Cure Wounds isn't going to help your hangover.
That's a restoration, however.
I don't know lesser restoration, okay?
I just want my head to hurt less.
But yeah, you unless anyone has any problems, all your weapons are checked and stored in secure lockers. You were given the key to the lockers as well. Like it's not like a it's not like, give them all to this guy and, come get them on the way out. Like, you're escorted to a locker just area, like, just before the, like, checkpoint, informed to put it all in the locker. You basically, like a swimming pool, like, you get the key from the locker itself it's currently stuck in. You probably give a chit, as, like, your tithe, for the rental. And, yeah, you basically are allowed to move on through. All of you who can cast magic, unless there's anyone who would like to try to hide any weapons and smuggle them in, or would like to lie about their magical ability, which you can certainly do. If not, I will assume you're all being very compliant.
It's at this point the wizard would say, "Oh, you wouldn't pocket an old man from his walking stick, would you?"
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, no one's trying to do anything like that. That's fine. That's why.
This is my emotional safety axe. I need to bring it with me. No.
Atlas gets stuck for a while arguing with the guard that no, the star mark is nothing weaponry.
They probably do ask if a Dragon could remain outside, just because of the fact he has very sharp teeth and could be seen as a threat.
He's a good boy. He's well
An
trained.
emotional dragon.
He's
What
a
do you want
service
about-
animal.
Okay. Make me a persuasion check.
He provides the service of biting people who are upsetting me.
Does a dragon nestling into me give me some advantage? After we were seen as a couple earlier.
Sure, yeah,
petting-
a Dragon is able to understand you, can kind of go with what you're trying to do, so you can have advantage
Like,
with
oh,
the
I'm
persuasion
so
check.
adorable.
He makes himself look as innocent
Persuasion.
as persuasion. Yep, he makes himself look as least threatening as possible.
So 11 and 14.
Gives the big puppy dragon eyes.
They ask, like what service he provides.
Emotional support.
Okay, you see the guard like rolls his
He
eyes
is
and
my
lets you
only
through.
remaining family member.
Yeah, the guard rolls his eyes and lets you through. You can't ask any more questions like that by law. So he waves you through, and yeah, you find yourselves all in the human embassy. And if you follow the directions, you can go. There's a bunch of tellers to the front, to the left, and to the right, and they've all got different signs above them all written in common. To the right, it says records and finance. To the front, it says matters of great import. And to the left, it says general, miscellaneous, and unknowns.
Are we miscellaneous or important?
I don't think this is important.
Important to you.
Important to me, but if I go in being like, "Hello, my name is Beros. I'm here to save my mother and kill my grandfather,"
Prepare to
We'll
die.
just go to general, I guess.
Yeah.
You were instructed to go to the right-hand side as you came in, but you can ignore that if you'd like.
Let's go where we were told.
That is assuming that's the information you want to go after. Like, it's
Yeah, we'll go
Yeah.
with that.
So you go to the residency and administration desks. You approach one of the tellers. They kind of like just a little bit of a queue. Think like a bank, very traditional, like old bank. Lots of like tellers, like with the glass and things like that, like you'd see in like a bank robbery movie. Or very very traditional, but done in a much more like futuristic kind of style. Like lots of like sheer glass. It's like like do you see icons and graphics across the actual glass itself, like a hologlass. And yeah, you eventually get to the front of the queue. You see there's a human teller, male, short brown hair, like blue eyes, kind of like a little bit of like scruff kind of around his like cheekbones, where like he's trying to grow like big sideburns, but they just aren't coming in no matter how hard he tries. And yeah, he kind of goes like, "Hello there, welcome to the human embassy here on the Helios district. How can I help you today?"
Hello, my name is Barry, and this is my husband Clyde. We're here visiting our friends, but unfortunately, my husband lost the address of our friend on the Tev, and it flew away. These commercial flights and all of that. So we're just wondering if you could provide the address of our dear friend Bella Mason.
I'm sorry, dear, but you know that it wasn't my fault. There was a lot of packing that needed done, and do you always have to say It's because I forgot them. Like, do you always have to say that? Why don't you just say that
I'm
we
sorry.
lost
I'm sorry.
the address?
At least we got the toys.
Yes.
Make me a persuasion check, or deception check, sorry, that would be an advantage because Cyrus is going along with it.
Is it for the toys or for the information?
Non-natural 20.
They go, of course, I'll see if I can help you here. Bella Mason, is that spelled like the Italiano, Bella?
Bella.
Mason. Stone. Let's see here. Yes, there's one record of a Bella Mason. Just for security, could you just confirm what would have been her hometown? If you would know that. Hometown or even date of birth would do. Anything just to confirm that we know you have the right person.
Date of birth,
Year would be fine.
3032.
3032, yes, that matches. That's perfect. Yes, Bella Mason doesn't actually rely on the Helios district anymore. She currently resides in the Eye itself on the embassy level.
Oh, I
would
see.
you like me to print out the address for you? I could even transfer it to a holostrap for you.
That would
Maybe
be
print it
wonderful,
out.
wonderful.
Certainly, they will get a hard copy for you and also send it
You,
to your holostrap.
you
And you
keep
get
hold
the
of it this
address.
time,
It's
huh?
easy enough to follow. It's like you can input it in your holostrap, and it will help you basically like Google Maps your way there. If you'd like. It's not too far from the Celestial Slip. Probably like 15 minutes on foot. Because the space station is big. Like you have to remember, like although it looks small and the icons, it's huge. Where you are, there must be hundreds of thousands of people aboard it. But yeah, you get the information. They are seem to be none the wiser. Whenever they kind of go through, make me a perception check, Barrows, because you're the closest.
10.
They have like panels behind them like that, and you can kind of just about catch the glimpse of the screen reflected in it, but you can't really make out anything of importance on there. But you do see whenever they first search the name, something flashes a different color for a moment, and then they dismiss it. You're not quite sure what it was.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. You've been very helpful.
Of course, glad to be of assistance, and I hope you have a lovely time reconvening and rekindling.
Of course. And I'll turn back, and we'll just start walking and go get our weapons back. And
You guys make your way out there, no problem. Does anything else anyone would like to do while you're here? Nope. You gather your stuff back. There is no issues. You reclaim it all, and you find yourselves once again back on the streets of the Helios district.
You want some of us to scope it out first?
it might be ideal. Especially considering, well, if she sees me, she might faint.
That would be
I was
bad.
more worried about, guards or something, but
Yeah, that's true.
But Astra and I are pretty perceptive, and we look fairly innocent, so maybe we should.
Yes. Maybe we'll stick around the Nexus district and wait for your approval.
I mean, I can
Okay.
understand Astra looking innocent, but
Well, to be
Al's
honest,
bats are big owl eyes.
Atlas doesn't
I even
appear.
see your big owl eyes because you've got a big mask
No,
on.
she's
No.
wearing the storm mark.
There's
She has a
so
star
you can see
mark
her face.
on, so she's got her little metal collar, but
It has a
Atlas
weird projection around her head.
appears innocent. But when you get to know her, that's the difference. Luckily, nobody on the Omphalos knows Atlas like we
Except
do.
her family.
Well, her family aren't here right now.
They are somewhere on that level.
Yes, but the chances
but
of
they
them
know
running
that
into
I'm
each
here,
other.
and my father and brother are not going to start a fuss.
I like how
Your
you
mother.
specifically left out your mother there.
On the other hand,
Mama likes starting fusses.
But also, she has no cause to start a fuss now because she knows where you are and that you are here. It's when you disappear that's when the real fuss
Wrong.
will kick off again.
My father gave me the go-ahead to go do things without her go-ahead.
This sounds like a rigged system.
This sounds like we're somehow gonna get in trouble for this shit.
Anyway,
Well-
Astra, let's go, stake out the mother. His mother,
Barros,
not
let's
my
go
mother.
have a drink while we wait.
Yeah, Barros will give you a brief description of how he remembers his mother. But it will be like very generic.
Yeah, because otherwise you just have an Aasimar and an Owlin. Like, all humans look the fucking same. I don't...
He will distinguish her as having a birthmark on the back of her left arm.
Okay.
Like the basically this part.
I thought you said back of left eye. I was like, how the hell are they meant to see the back of
I need you
your
to
left
look
eye?
really far to the
We're
left.
saying good, but we can't see into her.
I mean, how does Barros
Cornea.
describe his mother? Like, what does he actually say?
From the last that I remember, and I mean, having a dream about it was pretty useful. She's got long blonde hair. She's very petite. She has eyes that have
She has
bright,
eyes.
bright blue eyes. And she has
Blue
a
hair, blue eyes.
birthmark on her right arm, in the shape of an island, from what I remember. And she always dresses very nice. Always proper dresses. Something that she picked up from her father.
What's a proper dress?
Like
I
a
know what a
very
proper
fancy
dress
dress.
is.
Real fancy. Probably got frills on it.
Oh.
But
What's a frill?
Alright, let's
she
go.
she dressed very nice and would often
Nog
donned
is actually
lots of
asking.
jewelry.
Dwarves and frills? Not really a thing.
No.
You've seen them before. Like, that's the dresses that are all puffy.
Thought that was mythical. You only saw it in fairy tales. Doesn't seem very useful.
She lived on a planet called Lush. Lush is... you can use Lush to describe things as very exuberant, can't you?
Lush is very, very wild. Lots and lots of things, lots of nature, lots of
I thought
anything
lush
but
was just what you used to
fancy.
describe someone who's always drunk.
What? No. Why would you use lush to describe someone being drunk?
Well, how do
Being
you
drunk
use
is
anything to
but
describe
lush.
anything?
I thought you described it for something that tasted nice.
Well, anyway, let's go look at Barrels' mom.
Okay, and if you set off
Okay.
back towards the eye, back towards the embassy district, that's where we're going to take a little break. We'll be right back. And we are back.
Time to kill Barrows.
Time to kill Barrows.
And then Cyrus to boot.
So yeah, let's
Excuse me,
go
that is that's my
Astra and
husband you're
Atlas
talking
stealth
about.
mission bros.
Exactly. You should throw yourself in the line of fire, Cyrus.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, you're gonna go to the.
Touch the goat,
embassy?
the dragon gets it.
Sorry, what was that?
Touch the goat, the dragon gets it.
Sounded like a fucking robot.
Yes.
Considering Volgia wants to get rid of a certain dragon, sure.
No, I meant a dragon, not the sword.
No, I didn't mean either of them.
Dragon Chimera head. But yeah, you head back to the
You can find
you
that one.
head towards the embassy district. You follow the directions given to you, and yeah, you eventually come across a quite a nice looking like apartment block. The address that is given to you suggests that the room in question is on the 6th floor. Not quite the penthouse. Penthouse is 7th.
Now what?
Are we?
I mean, we want to like confirm it's her, right?
Yeah, but hi. They knock on the door, say, "Oh, sorry, wrong address."
Maybe.
There appears to be a lobby area inside. I think like a New York apartment kind of style.
Or do we? Wait, we're not the most inconspicuous people.
Okay. Well, let's just walk in there and see what happens. Needs a
Okay.
plan, right? And Atlas will just walk into the lobby.
Atlas walks into the lobby. As this happens, a Dragon and like Beros and all are like, down there, and like you're kind of like looking at dress. It's like they could like, it's 6 stories up. What they're gonna do? And like a Dragon is like passively in question, like Atlas has wings, she can fly, and then like cut to Atlas walking in the front door.
Well, I figured owling appear at your window is going to be even weirder.
Yeah. But you step inside, you see there is a doorman, well, not even like a doorman, more like a receptionist to some level, kind of standing there at a desk as you kind of come in, gets a little small nod, like, hello there, my ladies, welcome to Building 441. Are you, I don't recognize your apologies, I suppose you're here to visit someone?
Yes, we're here to visit a friend. Well, a friend of a friend, technically. But,
Who is it?
Miss Mason.
Mason, perfect, I can call her for you. What is your name, please?
Estella.
Stella, lovely. And is she expecting you? Is Miss Mason expecting you?
No. Just dropping by.
Just, of course, any business in particular you're here for, or
No.
friend calling in? Certainly. See, they hit on their hollow strap, put their hand to their ear. Hello, Miss Mason. Terribly sorry to bother you. Yes, I have an Estella here, an old friend of yours, is looking to pop in. I see. Of course. Of course. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day, ma'am. Unfortunately, Estella is not in at the moment. Would you like to leave a message?
No, don't worry about it. We'll come back later.
And where are you staying, just in case Miss Mason has any would like to catch up with you? I can let her know when she arrives.
What was the hotel that Alice's family were in?
It's a Celestial Sip.
Yeah, she will give that hotel.
Captain check, please. At disadvantage.
At disadvantage.
For reasons.
Already being sus.
Sus.
They already know who Estella is.
Worth a fucking try, okay? $13. Could be worse.
All I can see is Harry's glasses is just flick, 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 flick,
So
flick.
many things going on. My basic Tony Stark over here. think it's Celestial Sin. Perfect. Marvelous. Well, like I say, when Miss Mason's back, I'll pass on the information for you, and hopefully she will reach out to you shortly.
Excellent, thank you.
Very welcome indeed. Have a lovely day.
Also, we'll come and be like, why didn't I just give my name? I'm not the one they're suspicious of.
You step outside, the doors close, you see the individual does something else in a hollow strap from behind, handed a finger.
Why did I not just give my name? I just panicked and gave a fake name. I was still thinking about the fake name thing earlier.
It's not our names they need to be concerned with.
Why didn't you stop me?
I don't know. I panicked.
You panicked? I gave a fake name. What if someone's
Somewhere
like,
in the
talks to me and I'm not gonna know they're talking to me because I've already forgotten what fake name I gave?
Estelle.
Well,
I feel like somewhere Volga is just like to Bells. We sure we sent the right to?
hang on, I'm gonna write it down so I don't forget. She like pulls out her book.
I'm
You see she flicks rapidly to a page with her own name written at the top and like notes down.
I'm sure the girls have it handled. I mean, yes, Atlas might make poor decisions, but Astra's there to like keep her in line, and it's really hard to tell if Atlas is telling the truth or not. So, I'm sure they could bluff their way in.
I mean, what's the worst that they can happen? They go up, they just announce themselves, and
Okay, so
Well,
I'm
they-
looking at
they
this with
also-
three other plans in mind.
Okay.
One, they said she was out, so we could just stake out this building and look to see if someone with her description arrives. Two, I fly up to the 6th floor and look in all of the windows. But I might get arrested. I don't know if that's illegal or not. Or three, we leave. We leave and we tell Barros' mother's dead.
Okay. All of
I
those
like the
are-
idea. That
All of
if
those are a little extreme.
I like the idea if Atlas starts trying to fly, just AA turrets appear out of nowhere, just like
But you
set
also
that
have
down.
the tried and true method, which has worked before. Squirrel.
As in, like, in the like, to go in
As in,
there? I
just
feel like if
scurry
a
up the
squirrel...
building and pop it, look through the window. Be a little bit less scary than bird.
Yeah, but I haven't really seen many squirrels running around this place, have you?
What insects? Or there's bound to be something you can use. Cat? No.
Have I seen any animals in this fucking place?
You can make me a nature check if you'd like.
We saw some lizards in the bar. And a weird dog. A dog, but weird. 4.
You've seen a few animals, but they didn't really
can
move
Ash-
like animals.
Can Asher like look around to see if she sees someone like walking a pet or something?
Sure, perception check.
$27. Not
Look
20.
around. Yeah, there are creatures that are born here, definitely more as pets. You see there is a human nearby walking along with a pet parrot, you think, on a leash, who's flying next to them as they walk along. There's also a Ganassi who has a blob of what you can only assume to be lava that they're apparently walking on a lead. There's a dwarf who has this like goat trotting alongside them. And there is a Thrycreen who has a swarm of bees that follow them around.
None of them have climbing speed.
I don't think I can turn into things with wings. I've never tried to do that before. Which is weird because I can fly, but I don't know. Feels like some sort of game rule is stopping me. Also unsure if I can become a swarm of something, and I think that only leaves me with lava blob or tiny third of Tewa.
Almost like the designers of D&D didn't want to give flight to someone until a certain level, and then decided they didn't give a shit later on as they produced more content.
What about like a spider or something? Not really noticeable, right?
Yeah, I know what spiders look like.
I don't know. I don't want to know what kind of spider she.
Spiders with 16 legs.
Atlas gonna
Okay,
turn into a spider?
12 feet tall.
Just to check, how big do you think a spider is?
Like, yeah, the size of my thumb.
Okay,
How big do you think a spider is?
a little bigger, but not significantly.
Turn into a spider, Atlas?
We'll turn into a
definitely that'll
spider.
eat
Okay.
Pip.
In a whoosh,
I will try and find somewhere private to turn into a spider.
like an alleyway or something like that. You can
Yeah,
find it.
and slip away.
Do you go with Astra to watch the transformation? Or do you just like stay watch? Or
I kind of like
Keep
walk
watch while I
by
am
the
being
alleyway.
a spider.
yeah.
okay. Then scuttling out from between your legs, Atlas, you see a tarantula the size of a small cat, with 14 legs and 25 eyes.
The spider gives you what can only be assumed is a spider thumbs up.
Oh no, it can, because it has thumbs.
Excellent.
On all of its hands.
The spider gives you a thumbs up.
And it also has a giant set of vampire-like fangs on the front.
I feel like Asher is psychologist and say with her worst up, but not to like
Sure.
absolutely.
You want? Wisdom save, do not scream. Will probably be more appropriate to fear, you know?
14.
Yeah, you're like, oh god. Like heebie-jeebies, but not like blood-curdling scream drop of ace, you know?
I think she makes a little squeak. Leaves.
Also,
like,
I'm going to roll my wheel or woe because I forgot to do it this morning. Odds or even.
The fact Asher thought that was a good idea. She
Feel.
just said, "Yeah, go as Pip. Go as Pip up that wall."
Yeah, Alice will start scurrying up the wall, singing the Mission Impossible theme.
The little grabbies on the spider, like pinching little bits of the wall as it climbs up.
Dun, 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 dun.
And yet scurries all the way up. Just climbing. You see someone as you're like, your eyes on your underbelly, letting you see into the rooms, and you're scuttling up on the other side. Your eyes on your back, letting you see behind you. It's
Kind of
like
dizzy and gross.
it's like being a 3D fucking camera. You know, like the ones that they like use on the stick. It's a bit like
Where they put them on a dog's back and they just look like they were running on a tennis ball.
Yeah, perspective is weird, and yeah, you like scuttle your way all the way up to the sick floor. At least you think it's a sick floor, because fuck, you've been climbing for a while. Yeah, you see there is a selection of windows. If you'd like to look for something particular, you can make a perception check. If you'd like to look around, kind of based on the description Barros gave you, like peering in windows, scuttling along. You hear someone scream at one of the levels below as you scuttle over the window.
That's fair. 16.
16, yeah, you start looking around. Yeah, it doesn't take you long. You do find, you stop on the corner of a window. All 25-year-old spider eyes looking in all directions. And, yeah, you see there is a woman, who is currently, stood, like, in a room, okay, like a living room area, with a sofa. She's kind of, like, stood up from there, like standing on a coffee table, and you see she's taking a hollow strap call. It looks like she's got long blonde hair. She is a little bit more probably rotund than described, and her back's facing you, so you can't see her eyes to match the color. But you do see on the back left of her arm, there is a little like darker patch of skin, which I guess could resemble an island. It's just like a blob there. And she dresses quite finely, not in like, you know, huge pompous princess robes, but like a very, very well dressed and well put together.
Fire Atlas is like, oh yeah, that's her. That's gotta be her. Did they say she was out?
Skitter back down. You see a husband is helping fan his unconscious wife, who's fainted at the side of such a huge beast on her window. She's scuttled back down all the way to the floor.
I like to think that she, like, points and faints, like, as Atlas is scuttering up, and he turns and there's nothing there, and then she's just coming round as Atlas is scuttering, like, back down again.
Yeah, he points again,
Yeah.
screams, and it falls back again.
And Atlas is already gone.
And yeah, you
I
make
feel
your
like
way back over.
Astra jumps over wits.
Astra, you
Just
feel
over.
a gentle tap on your ankle.
You look down and see four of the 14 legs have like pinched you.
The spider will point
They're like that.
towards the alley.
They're like little like pincers.
Astra goes towards the alley.
Wild shape is a little disturbing because they sort of just explode out of the animal, but here it's honestly relieving to watch that thing explode into an owl.
There's a moment where like
Atlas
Atlas's hands are like all stuck joined together like the spider's hands, like pincers, and they like split apart into fingers again. And her eyes is all just like and like merge, like think like bubbles, like turning into one big bubble, like all like they'll just like pop out again.
My eyes feel funny. I don't think I've been a spider before.
I'm gonna see if I can find you a spider that I know next time.
That wasn't...
No.
Those are the
I'll
kind
draw
of
you one.
used
I
to get in
can't
through the
draw, but
vents
I'll-
sometimes.
Atlas, you would know that's a baby, and they
Yeah.
can grow up to like 4 times the size of a horse.
Yeah.
On the plus side, if you ever want to completely terrify Cyrus, just drop on him with that thing. It might work. But good job. Did you?
One time, Kalis dropped one on Micaiah while he was asleep, and he screamed so loud that a house three doors down came to check to see if anyone was being murdered.
I
Mama
can't-
did not find it funny, but it was.
I'm sure. Well,
She was upset
Anything?
because they can be a little bit poisonous. Anyway, I definitely, I think, saw her. My vision was not great as a spider. I could kind of see everything, but also nothing at the same time. But I saw a blonde lady with a birthmark on the back of her hand taking a hollow strap coal, which seems weird because the lady said she wasn't in, but how many
Yeah,
blonde
but-
ladies with birthmarks on their hands is it going to be, you know?
to be fair, it also did sound like she picked up the phone before she said, "Oh no, she's not in." So,
Yeah, also weird.
yeah, let's just go. We know she's there. So.
There. No, she's there. While we're on the level, I kind of need to try and get something back from my mother.
I'm more afraid of your mother than that spider, to be honest, but okay.
I don't know why you guys are so scared of her. Pussycat, really.
Okay.
Same way
Sure.
a man-eating tiger is a pussycat, admittedly.
Semi-toe.
Don't tell her I said that. Don't tell her
Okay.
I said that.
Okay. Let's go to your parents, and then it looks like we actually do stay there.
Whatever you hear in the next while, you cannot tell the others. She will hold up her pinky and hold it out to you.
Pinky's still got a little like pincer on the end, is just like slowly folds back into the finger.
Shakes her hand, gets rid of it.
Okay. But if it's something serious, I'm pressuring you into telling them.
Okay.
Solemnest of promises.
Solemnest of promises. Not for Atlas. Atlas has a more solemn promise, but she's learnt. She's learnt what a pinky promise is.
But yeah, you
Astra can't really do feather promises. Her feathers don't last long enough.
She'd give you a hair.
Okay,
But yeah, Atlas will head up.
you head towards the Celestial Slip. Sure. As you arrive at the Celestial Slip, you see there are 4 OSEC vehicles out the front, and currently being forcibly manhandled into it. You see your father being manhandled into one, your mother into another, and your brother into a third.
Okay, that does not seem like a good...
You see your mother tries to fight back, and you watch as the guard who's currently manhandling her just bashes her head off the top of the door and then throws her in seemingly unconscious.
Oh, absolutely not. Atlas is just straight in there.
Okay. You see them approach, they whiz round, they raise rifles in direction, like, sir, we've got a 4th, and roll initiative immediately, because they are in the middle of arresting your parents and family, for some reason.
Does Astra have to roll initiative?
Is Astra
Is
getting
she
involved?
I feel like she's rolling, but she will panic, but I'll roll anyways for her. 19.
18.
Okay, so...
Job.
So why did you grab my arm? Like, of all the people to be married to, why did you pick me?
I don't know. You were the closest. Also, it would make you scream.
I mean, I can play undercover. It was a little unnerving, and like you grabbed me so fast, I didn't really have time to react. I didn't know what you were doing. And that's the bar conversation while this is happening.
It's not that I'm homophobic, I was just surprised.
Okay.
Like, I'm fine with it. Just let me know what you're planning next time. Don't just, because I'm not...
We didn't have time.
Astra, you're
Fair
acting
enough.
first. So Astra, you
Astra will
see
pass.
Atlas about to start diving in towards him. As she does, you see them wheeling around, weapons drawn, ready to defend themselves if needed.
Atlas, I think we need to go. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna try and get the others. Astra will cast sending.
Sure.
To Barros. Seen mother on way to visit Atlas's family. They're being arrested. So is Atlas. Help.
I like how Atlas is not yet, but he's like, yeah, it's gonna happen.
Okay. Anything else, Astra? You got bonus action, you got movement. You're currently about 60 feet away. You've like just rounded the corners of the scene you're seeing unfolding at the front of the Celestial Sip. Like, happening.
Yeah, I think she'll move a bit closer, but not too much. Like if something happens to Atlas, she wants to run away and get to the guard that was nice to them
Sure.
somehow.
Okay, so you move like 30 foot, like just standard movement. Any bonus action
Yeah.
at all? Like nothing I imagine where you go cast a spell, put on everything else.
No.
Atlas, what are you doing? You're 60 foot away. You see this all happening unfolding, and as you immediately make yourself known, they whip around, weapons drawn.
I mean, first she's going to call out to her family and be like, what's happening?
Your father will say, don't worry, Atlas, probably nothing. Don't we'll be fine. A mistaken case of identity, I think.
Do the vehicles have tires?
No,
No?
they
like,
are
fly?
They are like hovering cars.
Okay. Alice will just keep on hauling ass, like, to them.
Yeah, you move 30 foot. You like dash further, or do you want?
I will dash as far to get all the way up to my family if I can.
Okay. As you're moving to up, one of them uses reaction to usher warning, and they will say, "Stop right there." When you get within 30 foot, they'll say, "Stop! Don't come any closer, or we will have to take action."
What are you doing with them?
Well, we have reason to believe that these are threats to the society.
Just now?
This is under order of High Colonel Chief of OSEC Mason.
Oh, God's sake.
Mine got promoted.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Do you stop or do you keep moving? There's only 8 of them.
There's only 8.
Only 8 of them? That's not much. In comparison to some fights you guys have had.
I was about to say, there'll probably be 80 in about 5 seconds.
I guess I'm coming too. Whose car do you want me to get in?
They will point to the one that's currently not being entered. Like, if you'd like to come willingly, please enter that vehicle left, and the door will open. He hits a button on his hollow strap.
Alice will get inside.
Atlas willingly gets herself arrested.
This better go on my record.
Atlas just in it for the prop. She's like, I want to have a record.
I want to have an arrest on my record. I've got arrested so many times and I don't have a criminal record yet.
As you move forward, Atlas, your father's like, don't shoot, someone needs to attend the hearing tomorrow. But yeah, you step inside the car. And step inside the self-carriage. And yeah, guard's turn. The guards will continue forcibly moving Atlas's family into the vehicles, one after the other, which takes 6 of the 8 of them. One of them will move up and close the door behind Atlas, and you hear the door lock. And then the other one will get in the driver's side of the vehicle, and the one who just closed the door will raise their weapon in the direction of you, Astra, and say, move along! Astra, your turn.
Don't think
Can I yell from inside the
Yeah,
truck?
you can yell.
I will yell just, Astra, go tell the others.
Atlas, Astra, you see like a hand maybe bang on a window, but the windows are like blacked out, and you don't hear anything from inside. They're soundproofed.
I
I
think
was a bit
Astra,
late on that one there.
I think Astra would back up
Yeah, weapon
because she
pointed at
knows
you.
if she gets arrested, they won't know who's doing the arresting. So yeah, she'll.
Atlas
back
will
up.
make the AOK sign and try and show it at them.
Yeah, I mean, Atlas, you're like trying to think. You don't. Astra doesn't even see you. It seems like.
Am I like in the back arrested, or am I like in the front?
No, you're in the back. Like the
Okay.
back door opened, you got in. He closed it behind you, locked it. You're like there's like a
I'm
solid
just by myself
glass.
in here.
It's like yeah, there's a solid
Hanging
like
out.
glass in between you and the front driver's seats.
Okay.
Blacked out windows on all sides. Apart from maybe the windshield is the only that isn't blacked out. But like Astra can't really see you from that angle because you had to come in from the side.
Yeah.
You can still like see through. It's like one-way glass.
Thinks really hard.
Yeah, Astra, if you just stand down, the guards will. I mean, Atlas, anything else you want to do, Atlas?
I'm not doing anything in there.
Yep, Atlas goes willingly. The guards will all mount up, and all 4 vehicles, you hear, and like little engines engage, and they take the disguise, and they fly out towards what you would assume to be the entry to the outer ring, the ring that goes around the eye, the central ring.
Astra probably cast another sending to Barros relaying what just happened. Also saying I think they arrested us because they seen Atlas and made the connection. I'm on my way back.
Yep. I mean, unless there's anything you guys want to say in return, you can reply to her messages. So
Who did you send it to?
Let's
Send the barrels.
Barrels.
let's meet up. I'll come find us.
So you're heading back towards the Nexus district then? Nexus level, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You head back down towards Rise Elegance. And you probably find them all in the bar downstairs, I assume, unless you've gone up to the room or...
Yeah.
No, we're all
Usually
here.
a while.
I feel like we should probably go to the room once.
Alice is just in the
you'll-
back of
you'll-
this car, like,
Astra
hey, can you
arrives.
put the radio on or something?
I feel like the second Astra walks in, Volga is going to go, I think we should discuss this in
I mean,
rooms
I
away
think,
from where the crying is.
I think we'll be fine here, but
I would advise
sure.
not going back to the room without Atlas because we don't know how Tewa will react.
Well, this is true.
Also, the barkeeper, he gave me the impression that I paid him enough. We paid him enough silver that he'll give us a way out of here. No questions asked. This doesn't seem like a amalgamate-friendly space.
Let me just
So, Astra,
reinforce that one there.
what happened?
4 more ales.
Okay, so we got to the place. We may have went inside and gave a fake name and asked for your mother, but then they said she wasn't in, so we went back out, and then Atlas changed into a really creepy spider, climbed up, seen her, so they lied to us, and then we're going to come back, but Atlas said she wanted to see her parents, and then we went to the celestial sip, and they were arresting her parents, and then they clocked Atlas, and then we got another one, and then she went willingly, which I thought she was going to fireball the place or something, but
Probably best that she didn't. They would have killed her.
So, what fake name did you give?
she said Estelle.
Okay. Did they ask for an address? Like
Yeah,
where
she
you were
said
staying?
the celestial sip to seem fancy, I think, or just somewhere where we weren't staying.
They
Oh.
would have just arrested any birdfuck.
They did.
I don't think they know Atlas. Like we're scotch free from any association here. I think
They
giving a fake name triggered the security system because, well,
If there's no
Unless,
Estelle on the amalgamate.
it's more that if my mother doesn't know an Estelle.
Yeah, it was the Asher tries to say the big fancy name, mumbles it. Mason that arrested them.
Yes, my grandfather, Xander.
You got a promotion
here.
though.
He's on the
Very high
amalgamate.
up.
The last time I checked, he was a lieutenant.
Okay, so they're
I mean,
probably
Ashley was
going
smart
to.
enough to remember the title that they gave him whenever it was inquired. It was by order of High Colonel Mason, Chief of OSEC.
Hi, Colonel Mason, Chief of OSEC, and they also the carriages
it's-
went towards the outer.
Then it's worse than I thought. He
He's
was a
going
lieutenant.
to.
He was a lieutenant when he first came for my mother. I thought maybe if he'd stayed at the lower ranks, then his authority over the systems may not have been as advanced. But he has control of it all.
They're
He
also-
basically
that, was,
runs.
that was a good 10 years ago, nearly.
Not only that, but he's probably going to interrogate them all as to why they were looking for his daughter.
They know us.
I mean, luckily, the one who can't keep a secret doesn't know anything, so the only one who knows what's going on is Atlas, who
What,
is a
what do you
dick.
mean what do you mean they
But
know
they
us?
do because of the book.
Well, the family has met us, so. And the mother has seen you. So if.
At most, it's by name.
It's a stretch, but the father or your grandfather might put 2 and 2 together. Suddenly, these bird folk are asking about his daughter. One of them's traveling with a satyr. It's a stretch, but he might figure out that you're here.
If Xander was to find me, he would kill me.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Not just because of the relationship I have with my mother and him, but I was a pirate for 10 years on the Hammerhead. The crimes that we did enough to get you executed 100 times over.
Maybe stupid, but is it worth us just going to your mother and you playing the sun card?
I don't think she has any pull here.
She may
I don't-
not have any pull, but she may know. She knows the this station more than any of us.
Or is it?
She's been around the high class events and security. She knows her father. She may be able to give us some information. It's worth a try. But I'm worried that, well, if we do this, then I don't know what will happen to Atlas. If they feign ignorance, then they may be able to just be let go.
Yes,
Say it was a
maybe.
mistake.
A mistaken identity, maybe. I just hope they don't hold them longer than a day. Don't they have that meeting tomorrow with the council?
Of course. To be fair, this will be brought to the highest point in the station. It will be a matter of hours to sort this out, if not minutes.
Mm.
They're not
All
going
right.
to keep them waiting around. Who's going to want to know what the fuck is going on?
I don't suppose it's worth us going back to Moon Shadows.
Embassy?
Yeah.
Again, that could take a long time to go through the channels, depending on how much pull an ambassador has with QSEC. I don't know the politics of this place.
I'm just trying to think people that might help.
The only thing I can think of is if I give myself to the embassy, the RA embassy, claim sanctuary. At least until you can get Atlas out.
The only question is, how do we get Atlas out and her family?
Well, I can contact Atlas.
If you could send a sending to her, tell her to play ignorance, tell the family to play ignorance, they don't know what's going on, it's a mistaken identity, something along those lines. We get Barros to claim sanctuary. I don't even know if we'd be able to investigate ourselves. QSEC it's probably going to be in lockdown if their chief and commander is interrogating people personally.
I mean, this district seems to be run on its own. Maybe I could stay here, find out information, maybe get us a way out of here. You guys go and investigate. It's not ideal. Maybe Vulgar can stick with me, but maybe you two can go and deal with that. I'll stay low, find out information, maybe focus on the task at hand with the Illithid, see what information I can find out down here. There's bound to be something on this district that can.
From what the Mudrons told us, we have to go to the records, but they wouldn't be in the standard records. You'd have to go to either the QSEC. What's the QSEC doc?
OSEC.
Yeah.
Omphalos security.
You'd have to go through the security branches.
Well, it's either that or I hand myself in.
That will do nobody any good. As you said, it'll be a death sentence.
I think so.
For me, but for Atlas and her family.
Also,
They have no part in this.
the Modrons would have said it would have been the arcane engineering level would have housed it, but they probably wouldn't even told you that. They would have just said, it would have said please check the logs. They're not the most forthcoming, but if they did hint anywhere, they would have said the arcane engineering would have been the best, the place to search. They would have said the index. Please search the index. If you asked them what the index was, they would have said it was in the arcane engineering level.
If I give myself over, then it all goes away. Atlas is free, her family are free. They can go to their meeting. They can.
He's trying to sacrifice himself to the god of death again.
Then you'll never get your own ship, and you'll never free your mother. Are you happy resigning her to her fate?
As happy as I am residing Atlas to a fate That's
Well,
nothing to do with
we will figure something out for Atlas. Her family are innocent, and it they can feign ignorance.
And they're
Right.
members of the amalgamate. Hopefully that can do something.
Right.
I think it's best we get sanctuary for you.
I think I'm going to be safer here. I've got enough chits to sustain myself, maybe pay off a few barmen. You said we need to get to the arcane engineering level, yes? For the information. Maybe
The Mudron said something about searching the logs for the precursors. For the I don't know what it's called. I don't know where you'd find it. Maybe if you find another Mudron, they could figure out where the logs are kept, where the index is. I don't think we asked that question.
this Nexus level. It's where the workers spend all their time. It's where they drink and gamble. People need jobs. If I can find someone to get me access to this while you go and deal with Atlas, maybe I can just make myself useful. If I lock myself in an embassy, then
You're stuck there.
I'm stuck there, and I don't know whether or not my grandfather has rights to just march through and arrest me, especially with the crimes that go along with my name.
I mean, Barrows, with your knowledge as well, the amalgamate, because the elves and the fae are part of it, it's not like you're an external holding. Like, if you were like a gnomish or something like that, maybe you would have like a grounds to like be there. But technically, the elves and the fae are all part of the same team. Like, there's no reason, but they may just let him in. Like, even if they could offer you protection, they may just, for the greater good of the alliance and communities, they may just like be like, whatever lies they feed or are fed.
Okay, so best plan of action is lay low, or try and be inconspicuous and learn some information. Maybe Volgir, the two of you, watch each other's back. You're both stealthier than either me or Astra are anyway. Me and Astra are outsiders. They seen Astra, but they might just, assume she was walking with Atlas. We can go up, see if we can figure out what's going on. Maybe try and get a message to Atlas in how best to deal with this. I mean, worst comes to worst, maybe we could get you two to start a riot or something in the lower districts.
I don't think I've got another rebellion in me.
It's just an idea. Cause a big enough distraction to get them out, but that doesn't solve the problem of their meeting with the council.
Sorry, all I could think though is I don't think I have another rebellion in me. Hard cut to Atlas starting a prison riot.
Just promise me one thing. If it gets too much, if they don't listen, if they mean harm to Atlas or her family, then you let me know, and I will handle myself in that. They will not die on my watch.
Are you capable of sending more? Are you capable of using more sendings, Astra?
One left tonight.
Okay. Well, we'll save that for contacting you, Barrows, if needs be.
That is fine. I understand.
Okay. Let's head to Cusack and see if we can figure out what the hell's going on.
And as you all split up to go about your separate ways, Atlas, you and your family are removed one at a time from the vehicles that you're in, unlocked one at a time, and escorted somewhere on the you're not quite sure what level you're on. There's no obvious signposting, things like that, but you are taken up a level from where you currently are. You are stripped of all of your items, including your star mark, and your mask, and your tank. There was no bullshit taken, no excuses. Threats of if I die without this kind of thing falls upon deaf ears. You were given...
Do I get to keep my clothes?
Nope, you are given a clean set of prison outfit. It's like a jumpsuit with just like a dark grey colour with OSEC across the back, as are all of your family. And you are submitted into somewhere which, whenever they talk about it or they refer to it around yourself, it is simply referred to as the inescapable.
Whenever it's referred to as the inescapable, it's just like, I escape, you're going to be really impressed, right? You're going to be really...
So the temporary measure until we can work what's going on, but one of the guards who takes pity on you, quite small, was like, be careful in there. You're in there with probably the highest threat level of all of the amalgamate. And as you're thrown in,
Wow,
and
I'm
the door
the
is
high...
locked
That
behind
put
you.
that on my record too. Put a note that I was the highest.
Your family are all standing there holding your spare set of clothes and nothing else. You're given a number of a cell to go to, which is on the upper floor, and it is very much like a multi-story cell block district. And as you come in, you see people giving you glaring looks. Elves like Kreen with like playing cards, like a real like hardcore prison kind of vibe. But like sat on one of the tables with her leg kind of like folded over itself, like just like drinking like a little juice from a carton. You see the hulking form of Tinkerbell in a jumpsuit that's a bit too small for her. You see next to her the huge Minotaur form of Hans. And
Atlas
around them
immediately
is what you could...
forgetting that her
Yeah.
family is seeing is just been be like, Tinkerbell! And like run over.
You start rushing over towards her, and as soon as you go towards her, 4 individuals stand up, get in the way, like, stop right there, you want to see the boss, it's not going to happen now. Who do you think you are, mate? Who do you think you are? They get in the way, and you see Tinkerbell's rear hand goes, she goes like, it's alright. I know this one. And she put a little toothpick in her mouth, chews it, and like, it's very clear Tinkerbell has some kind of like...
She's boss in this
Yeah.
place.
And yeah, as that kind of happens, we kind of fade away from the high security prison on board
Atlas
the
like,
Omphalos.
I've been being careful. Meanwhile, this is a prison gang I'm friends with.
Yeah.
Oh, the family is getting the veil pulled out from under them.
What do you mean, the veil? They
Wait, what?
grew this idiot. They're fully aware of the veil.
Hans gives like a little nod, and you see that like he's got like fucking shackles on his arms and on his legs. And yeah, they are.
I love the idea of other prisoners like seeing her be like, I know this one, and just looking at this tiny owl and like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck can that thing do?
Right. And with that is where we're gonna stop for tonight, and we'll pick this up next time. See you around. Bye bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Toodaloo.